Salute, salute, man. Happy Black Friday to Knicks fans everywhere. It's your main man, the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezy, coming through to talk that talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. What's good, everybody? Salute to my brother, YZ in the building. Salute. Salute to everybody watching us on X and on YouTube. Hey, we on the way, everybody. David Smith in the building. Salute. I think I want to have the conversation with everybody. I think it's one of those conversations that I think will be like a middle ground, even though it's not intentionally meant to be like a middle ground, right? It's I want to have the conversation with y'all about the off-season acquisitions and why these acquisitions were made in a certain order, right? And I'm saying that based on what the roster has been playing like, what you've seen thus far, whether, and that may or may not be a point of the conversation, but at the same time, it's some observation from me. So some observation from me. So this conversation is probably not going to be star-based or controversy-based. Probably just be more like observation. Ironically, it's 9:54 on Black Friday, and I already have 4 text messages from 3 different Knicks fans. So, but anyway, 9:54 in the morning on Black Friday. Anyways, so let's start the talk with this. Like, let's just get to the nitty-gritty. Outside of Mitchell Robinson, outside of Karl-Anthony Towns, the Knicks are either small or very inexperienced. Either short or very inexperienced at all the other positions, right? Like our wings, we have OG Anunoby, a 6'7", 250 pound, 240 pound jumbo wing that's really a natural wing disguising as a jumbo wing. So OG is jumbo, but really natural, but sometimes playing jumbo because he's big enough to do it. Will we prefer him to do that? Probably not. We'd probably prefer OG not to be a jumbo wing, like not have him in that conversation of a Giannis archetype type guy, Kevin Durant archetype type of guy. Like, you don't want OG to be in those conversations. At the same time, he can guard those dudes and he can put pressure on those guys, right? But and our young guys were ready. If Mo Diawara was ready, if Pakam Dadier were ready, those guys would be in that jumbo wing scenario type, guard the Giannis type guys, could switch for a little bit. That's where I think part of our slowdown is. Part of our slowdown with the kids that we have is that our young wing players aren't physically prepared enough for what happens when they go from being switched from Giannis, who nobody can guard, to Miles Turner, right? Can a Mo Diawara guard a Giannis and a Miles Turner in the same possession? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think Pakam Dadier is there yet either, right? While Pakam Dadier is the better defender than most of the young core that we have, he is not aggressive offensively, and at times looks soft, right? And I don't like throwing the soft title around. That's not me, because you don't know what's in people's heart, right? We just speculate. So I don't say like, oh, I don't intentionally use the soft title or whatever. Because you don't know, and you don't know what people are told to do. You don't know what the coaching staff is telling a guy, right? But what I will say is this: if Mo Diawara and Pakem Dadier were switchable, you definitely see them playing, right? If they knew assignments and grabbed assignments by the horns, I think you would probably have already seen less Yabusele so far. And I like Yabusele, to be honest, right? I like him. I just want him to play himself into a rhythm, right? Play himself into a rhythm, and in that way, we can get the very best out of Yabusele. But at the same time, I think the reason why you bring in a Yabusele is because you want him to be a bridge to Mo Diawara and Pakem Dadier, right? That's basically where we are. You bring in a Jordan Clarkson because you want him to be a bridge to your young players, because in actuality, not even in theory, I was going to say in theory, but in actuality, Jordan Clarkson is older than our veteran group. Like the oldest guys in our veteran group are Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns. It's Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Bridges, OG, and Deuce, and Mitch. And Jordan Clarkson is older than those guys. So, but at the same time, if Kolek were ready, then he'd be playing already, right? But in the NBA, you have to have cheap labor on your roster, and say that not as a bad thing. Cowboy Bob in the building. Salute. Happy Thanksgiving, Cowboy Bob. I say that because everyone on your roster can't get Jalen Brunson's salary, right? Everyone on your roster can't earn or doesn't deserve Cat's salary. Everyone on your roster doesn't deserve OG Anunoby's salary. Those guys get paid that money because they deserve it. They earned it. They proved it. They proved that they can play at a high level for years to come, right? So the problem is with that is, what do you do with the rest of your roster where you have to draft guys? You have to be financially responsible with the guys that you bring in, and hope that your scouting department has done a good enough job where the guys that you chose fits what you're looking to do schematically. I believe that's the reason why Mo Diawara is here. He seems to be the real steal is in the building. Salute. Still, I know y'all gonna tear it up tonight, bro. I know y'all gonna turn this mother out. I know they're gonna. I know still they're gonna turn this mother out tonight. So, but yeah, man. If Mo Diawara and Pakem Dadier can show us something in the next few weeks, I could see. Oh yeah, tomorrow night still. That's right. Saturday night. That's right. That's right. Excuse me, y'all. So yeah. So once they're ready to make the transition, I think y'all will see like the Yabuseles will probably get less usage, and you'll see the transition of the taller wings incorporated. It's kind of like how you make your salad first and you put the dressing on after, right? Make your salad first and then you dress your salad afterwards. I think that's what we're doing now to make, you know, and I'm gonna say pause right there too, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? One of the things that has me noticing this is I didn't get to watch the Charlotte game because I was driving, but I was listening to it. I was listening to Coach and Cowboy Bob and Mets break down the game as I was driving, right? So I can't go by the Charlotte game. But what I will say is in the last game we saw, I think Brooklyn, I guess, the last game I saw, the defensive rotations are there. Our issue is communication is terrible. The defense needs a captain on defense, like a quarterback to it, right? When Cowboy Bob and Coach and I were watching the Brooklyn game together, what we noticed is at times two guys took off to the same person, leaving one person open. And that probably happened 9 or 10 times during the game. And it's not because they're Ringling brothers or something. It's not like Keystone Cops. It's that NBA offenses attack you so that you can have miscommunications on defense. And what that does is it leads to 3 open 3-pointers. Here's the thing, though. Every defense is not going to have perfect rotations on every play. Every rotation is going to have 1 to 2 situations where a guy could have went one way and he went another way because of what he saw. That happens on every defensive rotation. But what you have to have is guys that can recover for when you leave. You have to have smart, savvy defenders, either that or guys that are athletic and long enough to recover once they see where the mistake was made. Now, ideally, you would want guys not to miss rotations and to be 6'7" hyper athletes to recover and smother the offense from a defensive standpoint, right? Yeah. DSJ says, can Marvin Bagley III counter other power forwards like Evan Mobley, Franz Wagner? And I don't know. It depends on what you want out of your basketball player. It depends on what you want, because when you mention that, like, remember, power forwards are undersized centers that stay around for rim protection. Like once that big 6'10" guy starts dribbling away from the rim, starts shooting threes, starts slashing to the rim, he's no longer in that same power forward skill set. So if you legitimately want a power forward, or if you're just trolling, whatever, but if you want a power forward, right, then you have one, right? Then it depends on what you want. Now, if you want a power forward, remember that person's going to be at your rim, right? He's not going to move away from the rim. He's called the power forward as opposed to the small forward for a reason, because he is going to be that guy at the rim, helping with rim protection, the power forward, right? But if you just want another athletic, maybe another bigger wing guy like Franz Wagner, then those guys are not cheap. Remember, like, the more diverse a player's skill set is, the more expensive they are in salary and in acquisition cost. Right? Because, for instance, if we could find an Evan Mobley light, that player is still going to be a $30 million player. because Evan Mobley is a franchise player, right? So even if you could find a Franz Wagner light, like say Denny Avdia, that player is still going to be expensive, right? So even like a Franz Wagner light is probably Denny Avdia. And in order to get Denny, you're going to have to pay, you're going to have to give up a starter. Right? You're going to have to play, you're going to have to give up, you're going to have to give up a starter. You're probably going to have to give up Bridges. Like, because the thing is, would you rather have Evan Mobley or Bridges, Josh Hart, Deuce, and 3 or 4 draft picks? Because that's what it's going to take to get that guy. Right? That's what it's going to take. And remember too, remember also, like when we call the guys by positions, this is the reason why I'm really specific and how I call them, how I name the player, because when I describe them as their role. Like if we're talking about jumbo wings, right? If you're talking about like jumbo wings, that means you can get big, athletic, long guys to play around Karl Anthony Towns. Because like for y'all point at center, I think Cat is the best center in the Eastern Conference, right? The best center, the best big in the Eastern Conference, right? I consider Giannis a jumbo wing, despite his size, because we look at Giannis as consider Giannis a jumbo wing because of the way he moves and his skill set, right? So if we're talking about putting a power forward in a lineup with Cat, you're taking away everything Karl Anthony Towns thrives on, right? Like you're going to take away his driving lane because your power forward is going to be clogging the lane for Cat, right? Your, say for instance, who's the last traditional power forward we saw? Imagine Zach Randolph and Karl Anthony Towns playing together. Zach Randolph is going to be around that paint area, and Cat, who can take his man off the dribble with either hand, right-handed or left-handed. Cat has better touch around the rim than Zach Randolph. He does everything better than Zach Randolph in that post area, right? You don't want Cat playing with a guy like that because that turns Karl Anthony Towns into strictly a jump shooter. Ideally, with Karl Anthony Towns, you'd like movement guys that can space the floor and shoot the three. That way, when Cat catches the ball, he can take his man off the dribble, either way, left or right. He can pull up, he can pass, he can hit these guys, right? In my mind, the perfect player for Karl Anthony Towns is Jaren Jackson Jr., a guy that can be switchable at the 5 in your defense. He can play the 4 or the 5, right? He can be the 4, your jumbo wing, and in big lineups. And with your bench guys, he can play some minutes at the 5, though I wouldn't like it. Real King in the building. Salute. Hey, man. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, man. That's what I think. I think when you have a generational talent like Karl Anthony Towns, you want to put very flexible and diverse talent around Karl Anthony Towns, right? That's the type of guy that you'd like to have against him. Anybody that is going to be just going to be in a position, so to speak, is going to kind of take away from what Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns does best. Like, do you want a power forward on the floor that prohibits Brunson from doing the Brunson burner? Like when Brunson goes one-on-one, what is a traditional power forward gonna do? Right. And I'm not disputing that point. This is about philosophy. Like in my mind, ideally, if you had Franz Wagner and Cat, that works. If you have Giannis and Cat, that works. If you have Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley type with Cat, that works. Charles Oakley and Cat can't work. Right. RJ Barrett and Cat can't work unless RJ is a guard and not the traditional RJ Barrett. Right. A Scotty Barnes and Cat might work, where you have these jumbo wings that can do it all, dribble, pass, and shoot, that can hit Cat on the move and find a Brunson. Right. That's what I think, though. And the reason why I even got into that is because I think that is the role that we envision Mo Diawara in. A jumbo wing that can dribble in transition. HRM in the building, salute. I think that's the role that we envision Pakam Dadier and Mo Diawara in, because Pakam Dadier can dribble in the half court. Mo Diawara has excellent handles in transition and speed, but they're not ready. Right? They're not ready yet. Will they be ready? Right? Will they get there? I think so. Right? But if we're just talking about optimizing the roster, Ribs is in the building, salute my brother. Salute. What I would say to that is this: either you can trade for the guy and then have to trade away a real contributor. You're gonna have to trade away 2 real contributors in order to get that guy. Like in order to get a Denny, right? Like I don't think the Knicks have what it takes to get a Denny Avdia, because he's a franchise player. Right. He just wants to, and he's unselfish and wants to win. Right. Right. Davis, I knew that was coming. Right. I knew that was coming. Right. Hey, Ribs, I know about RJ. I'm talking about what he would look like here. Because if RJ was here, he'd be another wing player, playing with Bridges and OG, right? So if he's here playing with Bridges and OG, what position does he play, right? Because he's not as nimble as Bridges, and he's not as strong and athletic as OG. So what do you put him? Like, he'd be in that. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, because he's a great young player. What I'm saying is basically, everyone has different roles on different teams, basically. So where RJ is in that role with Toronto, who knows what role he would be on another team. So. Right. But at the same time, if you're Knicks fans, do you let the development cook? Mind you, remember, the Knicks brought in development guys for this situation. Right? They brought in development guys for this situation. Right? And so while we have to we have to remember that development is not linear, but at the same time, we have to remember development takes time. So while we may not be satisfied around Thanksgiving about where these guys are, remember our preference is to be clicking at Easter. That's when we want to be clicking. Now, will it be pretty between Thanksgiving and Easter? Probably not. We're going to be mad as hell at some of the stuff we see, right? Right? So we're gonna be mad as hell at some of the stuff that we see. Like, legitimately, there are gonna be some nights where Mo Diawara is not gonna play, and we're gonna be frustrated. And then there are gonna be some nights where he's gonna play, and we're gonna be frustrated that he didn't play enough. It's the same thing for Pakum Dadier, right? Now, what I will tell you, y'all, my honest opinion, yeah, real King, I'm with you. Trust me, Real King and others, we agree on a lot of stuff. But the thing is, the roster flexibility is a concern because the roster does have a lot of talent. So we're basically talking about players 9 through 15, or 9 through 18 if you count the two ways. So players 9 through 18, there is a concern because we're not concerned about the top 7 guys or the top 8 guys, or we are concerned, but not concerned about can they play or not. We know our top 8 can play, right? We know our top 8 guys can play, right? We just, can they stay healthy, right? Right. We know Shamit can play. We know Mitch can play. We know Josh can play. We know Deuce can play. We know the core 4 can play. Right. It's players 9 through 18 that we want to see if we get. Well, we know Clarkson can play too. So Clarkson, we're satisfied with Clarkson also. But what we're concerned with is, can we get consistency from our core guys, right? Makes sense when you think about it, right? The core 4 has been together so Brunson's been here this is his 4th season. This is Josh's 4th season. This is OG's 3rd season. This is Cat and Bridges' 2nd season. This is Mitch's 8th season. This is Deuce's 5th season. This is, who else is here? Everybody else is basically like, yeah. So everybody else is basically new. This is Dadier's 2nd season. This is Kolik's 2nd season. Porty's 2nd season. Kev McCullough. I'm gonna say this, y'all, and this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. The more I wait on Kev McCullough, the more I think that maybe the Knicks think he's not an NBA player. The more I think about the Kev McCullough thing, the more I think, like, do the Knicks have faith in Kev McCullough? I like Kev McCullough. But the thing is this, right? How does Kev McCullough not beat out Mo Diawara coming out of training camp? How does Kev McCullough get put on a second 2-way? It's something to consider, Or is it just that they see something in Mo Diawara that they don't see in the other kids? Is it that Mike Brown sees something in Mo Diawara? Hold on, y'all. Hey, we're good. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah, man. Kerry Cox in the building. Salute. Yeah, y'all. Is it just that Mike Brown sees something in Mo Diawara that Um, yeah. Is Mo Diawara handpicked by by Mike Brown? Yeah. I think that may be one of the reasons why you don't go overboard for Ben Simmons. Like, hey, you know what? Ben Simmons would have been an excellent addition. I mean, but do we have to go with Ben Simmons to, or can Mo do some of those Ben Simmons things in limited minutes until we get him to the point where he can be a better value to the Knicks than Ben Simmons? Kerry Cox says Pacom Dottie hasn't shown. Oof, I disagree, man. I think y'all wilding about the Pacom Dottie thing, especially from a fan base that loves defense. I have no idea, bro. That's perplexing. I ain't gonna front, and this is just not me just wilding out, but I am stunned that a fan base that worships defense is so low on Pacom Dottie when he's probably outside of OG and Bridges. He's the best. He's the third best wing defender. Period. It's not even close. Like Pacom Dottie is the third best wing defender on his team that has two legendary wing defenders on it. Like, does he shoot? No. Right? But in terms of defense, you don't have to tell him anything. Like this defensively, this dude is a natural. Like you don't have to tell him nothing. Like defensively, they depend on that guy. Defensive. This dude is 20. What is he, 20? And he transitions from hips to hands up on drives and shots. And you don't have to tell him nothing. He don't do stupid stuff like leave his feet for pump fakes and all that stuff. Like he legit is in position with his guy all the way to the rim. As soon as he see the guy goes into his shot motion, he just puts his hands up like this and gets tall. Like some of this, you don't even have to teach him stuff. Right? You don't even have to teach him stuff. Like it depends on what you want. Like if you're a if your preference is offense, then Mo Diawara might be your guy because his defense is terrible, but he's aggressive offensively, right? So Mo Diawara is comfortable with the basketball. He can dribble, get in transition, right? He pops off the screen offensively, right? Defensively, he's clueless. Defensively, he's the worst defender on the roster, period. Like, legitimately, he is even worse than Huck Porty defensively, right? But Dottie, on the other hand, is an excellent defender at his size, 6'9" and a half, 6'9", 6'9" and a half, whatever he is, right? Fluid, foot mover, right? Right. Strong, not super strong, but strong enough for his age, right? Strong enough for his age, always in position, not getting beat. And when he does get, or if he gets beat, he recovers, right? Like when Pacom Dottie gets beat, Huck Porty's not getting dunked on. When Pacom Dottie gets beat, he's going to recover and still contest. When Mo Diawara gets beat because of experience, like Mo Diawara needs experience, right? So if he gets beat, the other team is dunking the other way. The other team is legit dunking. Y'all see it with your own eyes. Mike Brown snatches him out so fast and make his head spin, right? It's one of those things like it's the from a fan base like that. I've been asking behind the scenes, like legit, why are people so down on Dottie? And I think it's because when it comes to young guys, it doesn't matter. When it comes to young guys, the basics and fundamentals don't jump off the screen. right? The basics and fundamentals don't jump off the screen. So, we expect our young guys to have Derrick Rose moments, right? Like Derrick Rose moments. Like we expect our guys to show us that they belong in the league, as opposed to making the basic fundamental plays, right? What I would want from Mo Diawara and Pakem Danier is this: when they play with these veterans, do all the basic stuff and make life easier for our veterans. I don't care about, like, for this team, I don't care about a rookie or a second year player and winning like rookie of the year. I don't care about the Rising Stars Challenge, right? You remember that? Remember Tim Hardaway? Remember what Tim Hardaway Jr. looked like in the Rising Stars Challenge? Where's he at? How many championships has he won? Now, he may win one this year in Denver, right? He may win one this year in Denver, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's to me, I think the ultimately where we are is I don't see the Knicks, at least right now, everybody. And listen, when I say this, I'm not saying this from a perspective of I don't say this from a perspective of I think the Knicks roster is set. I don't think it is. Right. And I'm not saying this from a perspective of thinking the Knicks front office is clueless, because they're not. We probably have the sharpest front office in the NBA, right? Because going from Elfrid Payton to Jalen Brunson, Cat, OG, and Bridges, just saying, like legit going from Elfrid Payton, Wayne Ellington, and Reggie Bullock to Brunson, Josh, Bridges, OG, Cat, Mitch. The front office is doing anything. They cooking, right? So ultimately, I'm thinking if the Knicks are going to make a move, I think the move is going to be clearing roster spots so Mo Diawara can get more time or get a bigger role. I think if there's a move, the move is going to be so that Pakem Danier can get some type of role defensively, transition guy. I don't think you'll see that early on. I think you'll see that closer to springtime, especially with Mo D, right? One of the things for Kerry Cox says move for better backup powerful. So what do y'all want y'all power forward to do? Like, because I notice y'all keep saying it in the chat. What do y'all want from what's the power forward gonna give? I just want to know, just so I can stay in tune with the conversation. So that's for Kerry Cox and David Smith. And DSJ, if y'all want a power forward, what's the power forward gonna bring? I want to be in tune with it. Y'all let me know. No, Kirsten, I'm saying no. What's the role? Like, what do you want a power forward to do? What do y'all want a power forward to do in this on this team? Like, what do y'all want from them? East Blue Jew, what does Bobby Portis do for y'all? Tell me what it is that y'all want. What do y'all want a power forward to do for this team? Well, I mean, East Blue Jew, you want all your players to play defense. I'm saying, what does a power forward bring though? Because I just want to be in tune. I don't want to be one of them dudes that think I know everything, because I don't know everything. I just know the stuff. I just talk about the stuff that I know. All right. Because listen, I'm not a genius. I'm just speaking from my experience. And so if there's something, if I have a blind spot, man, I'd be wanting to at least acknowledge it if I can't fix it. Because if I have a blind spot, I'd be like, hey, man, I just got a blind spot right there. So Kerry Cox says rebound, defend, and play in a low post. Like what type of play in a low post are we talking about? Are y'all talking about like a Terry Cummings type guy? Y'all talking about like Kevin Willis? King, what's good? Let me know, and don't try to make fun of me either, because I'm not asking y'all. I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot. This is just part of the conversation. Like I ain't trying to put nobody in the spot. This is us. It's the same crew. We always talk together. So if y'all have a thing, you know what I'm saying? This ain't that. Just tell me what it is so we can, because if y'all keep saying it and y'all feel like it's being ignored, it's because I don't know. DS mid-range to perimeter offense with the capability to defend in the post, where Towns can possibly spread out or help defend the rim. Towns' strength is help defense, not primary rim protection. Yeah, I understand that part with Cat. I don't like Cat's rim protection. I think he now at the rim, I think he a doofus. Everywhere else, I think he a genius. I think he a savant. Everywhere else, at the rim, I think he a goofball. For some reason, I don't know what that is. At the rim, he won't put his hand up. Just put your hand up, dog. But at the same time, he don't get in as much foul trouble. Cowboy Bob says, I want a power forward like OG. Yeah, OG, I don't know, dog. I don't think OG is a power forward, bro. OG is a wing player. OG's a wing player. And you don't, and in my mind, in my mind, you don't in one spot on the floor like responsible for one area. You want OG to be to do his thing. Yeah, you don't want OG responsible for the box, and then all he covers is 30 square feet. I don't think you want that. I think you want OG to be a wing player, right? You want him, and I think that's what Mike Brown is telling everybody. OG, I mean, Mike Brown keeps telling everybody that his guys, he wants 1 through 4 to be interchangeable and flexible, right? East Blue Drew asked what I'm looking for. So what I'm looking for is this. What I'd like to see, and this is going to sound crazy, right? This is going to sound crazy when I say it, right? But I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right? I'm gonna just keep it a stack. I want 4 or 5 things, right? I want Mike Brown to ramp up the roles and responsibilities of Pakam Dadier and Mo Diawara, incorporate them into the rotation so that we don't look as small all the time as we do when we play other teams, right? The other thing I want is I want the Knicks to get younger with their young guys. Like for all the guys that are going to turn 25, like for the guys that are going to be turning 24, 24, 25, or whatever they turn this spring, I want them out of here, right? If y'all asking me, like Kev McCullough, I love Kev McCullough, right? I love the person. I love the player. He's not a young player. This dude's 24, about to be 25 or whatever it is. He's too old to be considered a young guy. Tyler Kolek is too old to be considered a young guy. Huck Porty is too old to be considered a young guy, right? If we are going to develop young guys, they need to be Dottier and Diawara's age. I legit, and I know Tyler Kolek is a better player right now than Dink Pate, but I would prefer Dink Pate because his skill set fits the modern NBA. I know that Tyler Kolek is more skilled. I just think he's out of place, right? I think Kolek is out of place here. He's on that Deuce McBride path of every year they're going to bring in a point guard to put in front of him, right? And if he's on that, right? So if you're developing Deuce on that path, I don't think you should be developing Kolek on that path either. Develop one of those guys, and and the other guy should be out of here, right? Like what y'all mentioned, like, because and listen, I don't mean to step on y'all toes, right? But I was asked an honest question, and I'm going to give you an honest answer. My preference would be to trade Kolek for that guy that y'all looking for. The guy that y'all looking for, that athletic 6'10" guy that can do some center stuff and some wing stuff. Why not take your asset and go get that guy and develop him here? Right? Why not? Right? Like instead of developing Kev McCullough, who's, I think he was 23 when we drafted him, so he's 24 now, right? He may be 25 in the spring. Why are we developing 25-year-old guys? Is that not the same thing we did with Daquan Jeffries and Dwayne Washington and Charlie Brown Jr.? That's the same thing, right? Why are we developing 25-year-old guys? Right? You have an excellent championship level core, right? You're not developing starters for the future. You're not developing role players in that sense, right? Right? You're not developing guys in that sense, because Kev McCullough is at this rate is never going to be better than Mikal Bridges, right? Who else? Tyler Kolek at this rate is never going to be better than Jalen Brunson. So why take a mid-20s guy and develop him when you can take that talent and you can go get the 6'10" guy that y'all been talking about, 6'10", 6'11" guy that y'all been talking about? Because I'm listen, some of the same stuff that y'all want, I want it too. I just want it in a different way, right? I just want it in a different way. Like my dream scenario is, my dream lineup is Brunson, Bridges, OG, Jackson Jr., and Cat. That's my dream lineup, right? And if you can't get Jackson Jr., then develop Pakham Dottier and Mo Diawara to fill that spot. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. is also a ball handler. That's what I think. I think this is in Mike Brown's system. In Mike Brown's system, adding athletes that can dribble, pass, and shoot. Mind you, this is yeah, King, I see you. I see this is, hey, listen, this is not in the dream scenario. Remember, Mike Brown is our coach and not Tibbs. Right. Remember, we're talking about in Mike Brown's system, right? In Mike Brown's system. Plus, don't think about, or listen, I'll put it this way. What I'm thinking about, if you add Jaron Jackson Jr. or Dottie and whatever jumbo wing you put. Remember, you have guys on the roster that are non-shooters. When you put Dottie and um, Diawara on the floor with Josh Hart, remember, Josh Hart is a hesitant shooter. Josh Hart is 6'4" and is a hesitant shooter. And the other thing too, I've seen Josh Hart in person, y'all. I've seen Josh Hart in person. Josh Hart is not 6'4". Like we say Josh is 6'4", and I go with it. I've seen Josh in person. Josh is not. I've seen Josh Hart in person. If Josh Hart is 6'4", then but okay, anyways, right? Anyways. Ultimately, what I'm getting at is the mix of players. to Hey, DSJ, if Josh Hart is 6'4", then you're 6'4" also. If Josh Hart is 6'4", then Delano Steele Jr. is 6'4" also. Yo. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The thing I'm getting at is ultimately is the player that you add have to fit with the mix of players that you have, right? So, in a traditional sense, if you go get, say, if you go get a who would fit that mold? I don't think I can't. I don't know if there is a traditional power forward in the league. But okay, let's use because Zach Randolph wasn't a traditional power forward either because his rim protection was terrible. Say if you put Kevin Garnett and Josh Hart on the floor at the same time, your spacing is going to be terrible because Josh is not going to want to shoot threes, and Kevin Garnett is not going to shoot threes either in today's game, right? Like legitimately, legit. I'm not saying Josh Hart is the problem because Josh Hart is a Knick, right? Josh Hart is a Knick, so he's our guy, right? But bringing in, say, Buck Williams, like when you put Buck Williams and Josh Hart on the floor at the same time, if you put Buck Williams and Josh Hart on the floor at the same time, one neutralizes the other. Like, because Josh is not going to shoot jumpers and Buck Williams is not going to shoot jumpers, right? Buck Williams is one of the great rebounders of all time, and he's not going to cede rebounds to Josh Hart because Josh Hart wants to run, right? So it's like these. The thing is if you're let me Knicks fans, let me ask y'all this: are y'all saying a traditional power forward to replace somebody? Are y'all looking at replacing Josh? Is that the thing that you're saying? Do you want to replace one of our shorter guys with a traditional power forward type? Maybe that's the question. Are you looking to replace Josh Hart with a traditional power forward? Is that what y'all saying? Because I like Josh. I don't think Josh should be replaced. I think Josh is a Knick. I think Josh may get his number retired here, which is odd, but we'll see. I think Josh Hart is going to be an all-time Knick by the time he leaves. I think that's the path that he's on. Because the thing is, we can't possibly be thinking about making a trade for a guy that's going to take your Boussalet's minutes, because he doesn't play a significant amount of minutes. He don't play enough minutes for you to make a trade. Do you trade guys just to play him 8 minutes? You make a trade for a guy just so that he can come here and play 8 minutes? Just food for thought, everybody. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. This is not me again. This is not me trolling or whatever. This is me humbly asking y'all to like share with me the thought process. Because the thing is I don't want it to be the opposite way. I don't want y'all to be thinking like, man, he just think he know everything. Nah, nobody knows everything. It's the reason why we had these conversations. It's the reasons why we chop it up. Like, do you legit go out and make a trade for a guy? Like, do you trade Tyler Kolek for a guy that's going to come here and play 8 minutes this season? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if now if the Knicks do it, I'm gonna root for whoever the Knicks get. I'm with it. Right. King says we're not a team. We're not a team that can play RPG. No four quarters like Shea and Cat could never be a number option. OG is a saving grace, but he ain't healthy. And is he at 200 million? So we need him. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I okay. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm with you, man. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I would say though, the guys like, well, basically what I'm saying is, before I wrap up, I'm just gonna say this. Basically, what I'm saying, to everybody, is don't go halfway. Don't be lukewarm, right? Don't be lukewarm. If you bringing in young players, you're gonna develop. Make sure them young players are young and have talent potential, right? Talent potential. Everybody has talent. I'm talking about talent potential, right? Because every player at this level has talent, right? I'm talking about talent potential to be something bigger, right? Hey, move these pieces. I like Tyler Kolek. I don't have a problem with Kolek himself. I have a problem with the development strategy, right? That's my issue. Ariel Hookporty has gotten a lot of chances, right? Right. The man, Ariel Hookporty, he's gotten a lot of chances, man. And at times it just looks like he's running around without a plan. He's just running. Like, if I ask you right now, what is Ariel Hookporty? A lot of y'all can't tell me, because here's the thing: if Ariel Hookporty is an energy big, get his ass out of here. You can get an energy big. I can go get Bismack Biyombo right now to be an energy big. But if Ariel Hookporty has potential to be something, maybe like a developmental piece or something like that, like, can he develop into a around the basket scorer? Can he shoot the three? Can he be a Euro big with passing upside? Right? Then now we're talking. But if he just running out here, just wanting something to happen, man, get his ass out of here. Right? Right. David Smith, yeah, I see that. He's a willing passer for sure. Kolek, yeah, Kolek is a floor general too, and he's unselfish. My thing is not that though. My thing is not that, because even in those scenarios that you mentioned, how often right now, and I'm saying right now, how often is Tyler Kolek going to play with Karl Anthony Towns? How many minutes are they really going to play together? So on that, everybody, I just wanted to share that. I think the answer is in-house, basically. I know we have a lot of concerns. I think the answers to those concerns are in-house. And unless there is a significant change in philosophy and development, I don't see the Knicks making a major move. I think they may bring in some reinforcements, but I don't see them shaking up the roster. On that, man, I'm going to tell everybody, thank y'all for watching. I'm going to get with y'all later on today. You know, we got to talk about this Bucks game after the fact. After the fact, we got to talk about this Bucks game, because I think with Giannis or without Giannis, whatever, this is a measuring stick game for the Knicks. This is important to the fan base, right? This is important for the Knicks fan base. So we need this dub, right? On that, I'm going to get out of here and continue eating Thanksgiving dinner all the way through the weekend. But I'll see y'all later on tonight, y'all. Peace, everybody.